Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be talking about this crazy artifact mission that is part of the Ramontu missions to get him. He is the new champion added after Arbiter as a mission reward, and some of the missions are pretty crazy. This one is thought to be one of the crazier ones. Now that I've done it, I took the time to chart it for you, and I also hosted this thing that you see over here on the right on the community tab of my channel where I gave people the opportunity to guess how many glyphs they thought it took. Since I charted it, I do know the exact answer, so we'll go through, see what people were guessing. We'll see if anybody got it right on the dot, and I will shout them out, and we will talk about my experience, and I'll show you all the data and the charting so that you can plan effectively for this mission and get an idea of what you're going to need to have saved up and ready to go when you get to this thing, because it is a big hurdle and roadblock in your missions to get Ramontu. So let's get into it. Alrighty, let's jump right in and start going through. I'm not going to tell you yet. We'll see if anybody actually got it. Okay, it took me 223. Okay, I'd say 156. Okay, I won't go over all of them. I'm gonna scroll through these quickly and see 250, 42. I mean, hey, Stefano, I wish. It took me 3 months to complete. Not sure how many glyphs, but it's brutal. From my experience, I would say at least 320. It didn't take that many, but you must have had a rough experience there. I'd say about 450. Okay, yeah, that's a little on the high side. 222, a little bit closer. Oh no, Colin. There we go. If your guess from your last video is correct, and there's a 20% chance it took you 200. Hey, Colin, coming in hot here with the knowledge and staying up to date on the channel here, doing a great job. It actually did take me exactly 200. So we'll see if anybody else and I'm not making that up. It did legitimately take exactly 200. Let's see if anybody else got it right that I want to shout out here. 240. Some people getting pretty close here. 350, 420. Okay, I think about 400. Yeah, not quite that brutal. 215, pretty good guess there. 220, a good guess. Okay, so it looks like we've only got one person that... Oh, wait, no. I don't want to miss out. Okay, we've got, what is this? Terry TS2, 200. That's what it seems like to me, because I'm stuck on it. So we got another one coming in with exactly 200. Anybody else? Anybody else getting it? Oh, JM as well. 3 people got it right on the dot. It probably helps that it was exactly 200 and it wasn't like 204. It would have been a lot harder. You have some people saying, I guess about 200. So because of the amount that it was, we got some people nailing it right on the dot. Yep, another one here, about 200 for Gwyn. And I think that is probably going to be about it. A lot of people getting really close. 39. I wish there, Scotty. Okay, and 553. Yeah, we got guesses from all the way like around 40 to like 550, but 200 was the mark. So great job for those of you that got that dead on. And then quickly, before we dive into the data analysis and show you kind of the charting that I did during completing this mission, let's talk about the methodology that I was going through in my head. So when I'm going to use my 6-star speed glyphs, they are extremely hard to come by. You only get like a couple of them a month. I think it's somewhere between like 2 and 5 6-star speed glyphs a month, depending on your RNG. So I try to be really careful about how I use them. So when I find a piece like this, that is a speed set, it's a bottom piece, which are hard to get good ones of. It's 6-star, it's got double speed, double accuracy. So really good on a tanky, super fast character that's gonna need both speed and accuracy. Something like Lysandra, you want her to be able to lower turn meter and you want her to be insanely fast. So this is a candidate. This is what I'm looking for. This is a candidate for a 6-star speed glyph worth piece. So I was able to spend, I think it took 2 or 3 glyphs and I was able to get the max roll. Also, next to that, I want my Lysandra super fast. It is very rare that you get a 6-star speed piece that quad rolls speed. So there we go. I was able to use, I think it was like 2 glyphs to get the +7 there. I don't want to, I'm only like, I'm a small percentage, like 20% or so. I don't want to spend like 5 to 8 6-star speed glyphs to get 1 speed. So going from 7 to 8 would be a little bit rough there, but if I was ever going to do it, now would be the time. If this piece was like some, if this was like HP percent or defense percent, maybe I would do it because it would be that insane of a piece. With it being attack percent, it's kind of the least desirable stat for a main stat on a quad rolled piece. So I'm gonna leave it at 7. I'm perfectly happy with that. But that's kind of what I did. I went through and looked for some of those pieces that would really be worth a 6-star glyph. But something worth pointing out, I really want to take a second to show you this. If we pull up that section on the right side again to see what the quest actually says, or the mission, I guess technically, it says get 40 max substat upgrades using rank 5 or higher glyphs. Now, I believe they changed this because back when these missions first came out, you actually had to get a max roll that piece had potential to get. So what that means is, if you're a little bit confused, hang in there. If you have a 6-star piece of gear, you can't complete this mission with a 5-star glyph, because even if you max out that 5-star glyph, it won't max out that pieces of gear potential, or like the highest that piece of gear could get to. So that's a big fix that they did to the game, because you are able to actually use 5-star glyphs on 6-piece gear or 6-star gear to actually make progress towards this mission, whereas back in the day I don't think you could. So it's definitely an amazing thing they got that fixed. As you can see with the piece up above there, I wanted to mostly use my 5-star glyphs to get through this mission as best I could, and this would be a great opportunity, this perception piece with the accuracy roll, and then go ahead and use the speed glyph. That is worth a 5-star speed glyph for sure. So I just kind of went through and tried to find pieces like that, but I am thankful they definitely fixed that bug on that mission. Because what would happen is you'd have pieces like this over here to my left, where it's a basic set, it's an HP piece, but it rolled triple speed, so it is actually pretty good. But is it worth a 6-star speed glyph? No, not really. So is it worth a 5-star speed glyph? Yeah, probably. So when you would put a 5-star speed glyph on this, if it rolled max, that wouldn't count towards the mission. But they fixed that now that it counts off of the glyph instead of the item. So if I used a 5-star glyph on this and it hit max, it would count towards that mission. But now let's go ahead and dive into the actual charting and some of the data that I was able to collect on the way. So I went ahead, and you'll see on the left side, it shows the star of the glyph, what the glyph was, and then did it min roll, mid roll, or max roll. Now, back in my earlier video of testing this, I used 4-star glyphs so that there would only be 4 outcomes. There is a min, there's 2 in the middle, and then there's a max. But when you get up to these 5-star glyphs and 6-star glyphs, they're a little bit different to chart, and it's a little bit more likely that you're going to get a mid-roll. Back then, with the 4 outcomes and 2 of them being mid-rolls, it was right at 50% that ended in the mid. But now you can see there's still only 1 min and 1 max, but there's more options in the middle. So we went from 50% to like 58 for the ones that actually hit in the middle because of that. And then, back then in my last video, the results did scale a little bit towards the min rolls. I know lots of us have a theory just from our experience using glyphs that they are skewed to be more likely to roll a min roll than a max roll, which was the case in my last testing. But with this one, it was the case for a while. It was the case for the first, like, let me pull this up here. It was the case for the first, like, I was hitting a lot more mins than maxes. And actually, let me pause for a second and color code this so that you can actually see the rolls on the left. I don't know why I haven't done that already. Okay, there we go. Much better. Now you can actually see the rolls over there on the right side with correlating with the graph on the right. So you can see here, my RNG I was getting a lot more of the red. You can see there a lot more of the min rolls. But then something happened towards the end. I started getting insane RNG. Like, look at this last page here. You've got, like, in the last, what is this? From 171 to, in the last 30 glyphs, we went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What is that? 12 out of the last 30. I hit the max roll, which is insane. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 out of the last 30 hit the max. So I ended up getting really good RNG towards the back end of it. And this is why you need a massive sample size when you test something like this. This is not data that I can take to the bank in terms of really diving into how the mechanic is going to work in game, because the sample size just is not big enough. But this was my experience, and I would guess that it is going to scale a little bit towards the minimum. If I didn't get that insanely good RNG on the back end of it, I was typically at about 15 or 16% for my chances of getting a max roll, and then I got that crazy RNG there at the end. So I do think it scales a little bit towards the min. So based on my experience, I expect you to get a max roll to contribute towards this mission, about 1 out of every 5 to 7 glyphs that you actually put towards the mission itself. Which would mean, obviously, if you got to get 40 of those to happen, and it's going to happen about once every 5 times, that would be 200 times. That would be towards the good side of RNG, I think. I think I was a little bit towards the good side of the RNG because of how things went there towards the end. And then the back end of it would be about every 6. So you'd take 6 times 40 is 240. So I think most people are going to fall in 200 to 240 glyphs used. And then anything better than 200 would be really good RNG. Anything worse than 240 would be really bad RNG. So if you're down to like 180, grats, you got super lucky. If you're up over 250, that is rough, and you had a lot of bad RNG in getting some of those max rolls. But yeah, that's my journey and the charting of my journey in getting one of the crazier quests done in Raid. If you've already done this one, I really appreciate you guys letting me know your experience as well, like some of you already did on the community tab, and hopefully you end up towards the good side of the RNG and end up around 200 or so. Some of you, I'm sure, are going to have a rough experience and end up around 300 or so, just based off of how the RNG is going to work on glyphs. So definitely a super rough mission, and good luck when you embark on the journey of completing it. So that'll do it for me on this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.